Welcome to Management My Way. I am a contingency management. First of all, what is management? Management is getting work done through others, but I say good management is getting work done in an efficient and effective way. There are four kinds of managers. You have the top managers who are responsible for change, commitment, culture, and environment. You have middle managers, who are responsible for resources, objectives, coordination, sub-unit performance, strategy, and implementation. Then you have first line managers, and they're responsible for managing non-managerial workers, teaching and training, scheduling, and facilitation. And then you have team leaders, who are responsible for facilitation and external and internal relationships. Managers also have different functions like planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. Managers also play roles. According to Williams, Professor Henry Mixberg concluded managers fill three major roles. The interpersonal role, which would make them a figurehead, a leader, or a liaison. The informational role, which they would be the monitor, the disseminator, or the spokesperson. And the decisional role, which they would be like an entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, or negotiator. On top of the managerial roles, managers have to have good skills. And they would first have to have technical skills, meaning specialized procedures, techniques, knowledge to do the job. Human skills, the ability to work well with others. Conceptual skills, which is the ability to see the organization as a whole and understand the relationships between all the parts. And on top of that, recognize how the environment has an effect on the organization, internally and externally. And finally, they have to be motivated to manage, be enthusiastic about. When it comes to my way, I want to be a manager who can not only change management approaches when needed, but also blend techniques and theories. And that would be a contingency manager. I want to be a contingency manager. And contingency theory says there is no universal approaches to management. The situation determines the approach to the management. Contingency theory was introduced by Fred Fiedler in 1967. There are too many external and internal constraints that alter what really is the best way to lead in any given situation. On the other hand, it just depends on the situation as to the best way to manage. Contingency theory was based on four ideas. First, there is no universal or one best way to manage. Then, the design of an organization and its subsystem must fit with the environment. Third, effective organizations not only have a proper fit with the environment, but also between its subsystem. And fourth, the needs of an organization are better satisfied when it's properly designed and the management style is appropriate both to the task undertaken and the nature of the work group leadership. As a manager, a contingency manager, I must change with the environment. See, environmental changes produce uncertainty due to a lack of managerial control. Environments outside and inside of organizations, they act as a catalyst for change in the company. And external environments as well as internal environments, they have the potential to affect the organization in many different ways. The internal environment, I focus on organizational culture. In organizational culture, it can help prospects decide if they would like to work at a company, and reduce the number of applicants and unqualified or uninterested applicants. Also, new employees, they'll have an idea of the culture they're being trained into. As a manager, I could identify the current culture, I could evaluate current issues, I could develop strategies for promoting successful culture. And finally, I could use these four keys from Williams. Adaptability, consistency, clear mission, and employee involvement. Now, when dealing with the external environment, this consists of everything outside of the boundaries of an organization that affects it. And these things are out of the manager and the organization control, and they produce organizational uncertainty. But there's a tool for success called the PESTLE analysis. The PESTLE analysis stands for political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal analysis. Once I do these analysis, I must respond to them. Politically, the response would be to be flexible, to stay ready to retrain and educate the employees to meet the requirements of the law, and be open to addressing going global. Economically, I have to deal with tax, interest, and inflation and be mathematical. On the social point, I would have to understand that culture and diversity have to be managed according to the environment. See, companies, they can change various management strategies to adapt to different social trends, even on a local level. My response to technology analysis would be to replace obsolete technology, make decisions on technology that may affect cost and labor, and maybe even decide on new technology that may increase profit but replace employees. Environmental analysis, I may have to move a factory from one place to another just to overcome changes in climate or decide to rebuild it in a whole different place after a natural disaster. And on the legal aspect, I have to stay abreast of laws dealing with who can be hired and how they can be hired. And as a contingency manager, I want to be socially responsible. I want to promote ethical, responsible business. I want to use a stakeholder model and be proactive in my strategy. I got to continue to educate and encourage my workers to adopt health and wellness as a lifestyle, not just a work style, and seek to get involved in the communities that we do business in. And I want to use green products and alternative energies. See, the stakeholder model requires that all of the parties affected by management decisions, not just the shareholders, but all of them, be included and be considered fairly and as justly as possible. I just want to say that change is inevitable, so contingency is the way. Contingency management is change, and I'm all about change. I want to be a contingency manager. Thank you.